Okay, my newsmaker tonight on India at 9 is the Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for joining us here on India at 9. Let me actually first begin by asking you how you react to this entire controversy. Do you believe this tour that your MLAs are going to take, spending about 90 lakhs, is going to be a fruitful one? Is it not simply, as many are calling it, just a junket?
Nowadays it has become a habit or a fashion to start a news without even understanding what is the news. Basically, we had Lusophonia games here. Now if someone has to say that spending money on sports is an wastage, then we must have spent about 350 crores on that. It's something like Commonwealth of Portuguese speaking countries. Brazil is a part of it. Football has been declared as state sports in Goa. This is another factor which is not known. Last 2 years I have spent more than 15 crores on football alone, developing football talent. We are in process of constructing 2 football stadiums, one in north and one in south. We are in process of conducting 2017 Under 17 World Cup. We are serious contender for that. Now in this Brazil being part of that Lusophonia, we thought long back that 5-6 of our MLAs and maybe officials also, because of some reason official could not be included, go there and watch how matches are played, how crowd is controlled, because I faced a very serious organizing problem when we were holding Lusophonia.
Okay, so Mr. Parrikar, so you're looking at this trip not just for the sport, I understand, but also for the organization of the sport. But you know, you have many football enthusiasts in Goa, and the basic question that many are asking, including perhaps the opposition, is why is there no football expert or football player in this entire delegation, Mr. Parrikar?
They are welcome to say that. As far as I am concerned, it is a money spinning for state government in long term, because sports event we consider as an event for tourism. You have to also understand the situation in Goa. It cannot be compared with many other states. Tourism is a very important part, and we consider various types of events as an aspect. For example, wedding tourism,
right?
We have event tourism, like that. Sport tourism is also equally important. That's why we are in the process of promoting sports. We are holding national game. We are going to hold this Under 17 World Cup.
Mr. Parrikar,
so we will hold many more sports events for which we will spend money. Obviously, because that will attract a lot of foreigners and other tourists to the state, and ultimately give us more
I understand that, Mr. Parrikar, but you know, you have a fisheries minister, you have a power minister, and no football player.
My 2 ministers of mine are expert in football. One of them have played for India, if I am not mistaken, but he was a goalie for Sargaokar's. Averton Furtado, Minister for Fisheries, who is going with the Minister for Sports, is a footballer of Indian standard. Same way with Benjamin and Glenn Ticklow. You know, 4 of them are good footballers themselves and take active part in local football.
You know, Mr. Parrikar, you've taken this number, and from the details that I have, 4 out of these 6 MLAs, if I'm correct, were part of another sporting delegation. It travelled to England in Winchester in 2012 for a motocross championship, hoping to get some of that back to Goa, and nothing came out of that trip. Goa got out in the first round.
No, Power Minister, I have not said football expert. Power Minister is going because Executive Director of Sports Authority cannot go, and that vacancy, otherwise we will have to spend money on that. So I included his name. It has to be in even numbers, 2 pairs.
Okay, Mr. Parrikar, you know, I mean, I'll take that, but the big point is that, you know, both of Goa's Arjuna awardees, there's Brahmanand Shankwalkar and Bruno Coutinho. In fact, he's spoken to CNN-IB, and they both made their desire well known to be part of this delegation. How is it that they don't get to be a part, and just MLAs like the Power Minister you mentioned get to be?
I have not seen their desire. That is number 1. Number 2, the most important part, they will not be the organizers for the games. They may be a football player, they may be part of the football, but they will definitely not be the organizers for the game. Whereas the ministers can be given responsibility when the under-17 game takes place.
I agree completely on that, Mr. Parrikar, and it's an important distinction that you make between organizing a game and playing it. But clearly the past is no indication that your ministers have been great organizers.
I am talking about organizing. Playing does not mean you are a good organizer. Sachin Tendulkar is an excellent player. He could not succeed even as a captain, leave aside of organizing. Organizing is totally different game. Just because, for example, in your own, just because someone is a good reporter does not mean he is a good, he can conduct a program well accordingly. Same way, organizing is a different ball game. Good footballer does not mean he has to be organizer, whereas ministers are part of cabinet and they have to be part of that organizing team.
Okay, let me just frame this question to you in this way, that you don't believe this taxpayers' money would perhaps have been better served if sports administrators, legends of the game were part of this delegation, that perhaps Goa could gain more.
Arjuna Awadi only indicates a good player and not an organizer. That is exactly what is not understood, and this is not a place to explain everything. What is required is organizing committee. Lusophonia games when we conducted, I found no one knows. Now that someone has to be person with some power. A minister can be delegated with authority. I cannot give the same authority to a player or someone outside the political or the government. That you will never understand, because he will not be treated by anyone with that respect. The minister can take the responsibility. So a minister with football background can be a better choice for organizing.
Okay, Mr. Parrikar, appreciate you joining us here on India at 9 and sharing the viewpoint. We'll have to wait and watch what your ministers come back with, the great experience, the great organizational experience they actually come back with, and how it benefits football crazy Goa.